Book of Crip, Volume 4 The Great Blood Divide. As the Bloods continued to push their scientific message and policies, a divide began to form within the gang. While some members embraced the new way of thinking, others clung to their religious beliefs and traditional ways. The split eventually grew so large that the two groups could no longer coexist within the same city. The intelligent Bloods, who had fully embraced science and reason, decided to leave the city and start a new community in Pomona. The journey to Pomona was not an easy one. The intelligent Bloods faced many challenges along the way, including harsh weather conditions and attacks from rival gangs. But their determination and belief in their cause kept them moving forward. When they finally arrived in Pomona, the intelligent Bloods immediately set to work building a new community based on science and reason. They established schools and research centers, and they encouraged young people to pursue careers in fields like technology, engineering, and medicine. As the years passed, the community in Pomona flourished. The intelligent Bloods continued to make groundbreaking discoveries and advancements in science, and their influence began to spread beyond their small community. Meanwhile, back in the city, the divide between the atheist and traditional Bloods grew deeper. The traditional Bloods, who had rejected the scientific approach, struggled to keep up with the rapidly changing world around them. They found themselves falling behind in areas like technology and medicine, and they began to feel isolated and marginalized. Despite their differences, both groups of Bloods continued to hold a deep respect for one another. They recognized that their paths had diverged, but they still shared a common bond as members of the same gang. And while the Bloods may have been divided, their legacy as a group of fiercely intelligent and determined individuals lived on in both Pomona and the city, inspiring future generations to push the boundaries of what was possible. The peace wouldn't last for long. The atheist Bloods, having gained significant influence and power in Los Angeles, began to disrespect the city and its institutions. They vandalized public buildings and monuments, disrupted public events, and harassed law-abiding citizens. Their actions created fear and instability, leading many residents to leave the city. The traditional Bloods and the religious Crips, who had long opposed the atheist Bloods' aggressive and disruptive behavior, found themselves forced out of the city center. They had tried to reason with the atheist Bloods, urging them to use their influence for positive change rather than destruction, but their pleas fell on deaf ears. Realizing that they could no longer coexist with the atheist Bloods in Los Angeles, the traditional Bloods and the religious Crips decided to form their own community outside the city. They established a new home in a neighboring town, which they called Crip. In Crip, the traditional Bloods and the religious Crips created a community based on their shared values of respect, compassion, and peace. They worked together to build homes, businesses, and places of worship, and they welcomed anyone who shared their vision. Over time, the reputation of Crip grew, and many people who had left Los Angeles due to the atheist Bloods' destructive behavior began to join them in their new home. The community flourished, becoming a beacon of hope and stability in a region plagued by violence and chaos. As for the atheist Bloods, their reign of terror in Los Angeles eventually came to an end. Their destructive behavior had alienated too many people, and they found themselves without allies or support. In the end, they faded away into obscurity, a cautionary tale of the dangers of unchecked power and aggression.